Alright guys, welcome back. I'll give y'all some updates on some vehicles, what's going on with them, and will they run. Remember the little Mazda? I hadn't got around to working on it again. I want to see if it's a timing issue or something going on with it, but I just kind of dropped it, and I ain't been driving. I ain't been drove in a couple of years now, I guess, since I blew that head gasket. Probably look back a couple of years ago in my videos and see this one. And then my 83 K20. Made a video of it a while back. Got some rust issues going on in the back of the cab here. And I'm also having an issue with getting it to actually crank. This truck I want to do a lot more work to. I've got a little bit of issue with some leakage around this seal. You can kind of see the silicone up in there, but when it rains it leaks. It's dripping on my seat, kind of got it stained up right there. This truck needs a lot of work to be finished, but the biggest thing I'm having an issue with, and I'm not sure if it's the starter or the ignition switch or something, but if I push the clutch in, see the battery. I think it's pretty sure it's going to be a starter issue with this one. Sometimes it'll crank, sometimes it won't. This does have an aftermarket starter on it, a high torque starter, so probably going to have to work on that. And let's go down and look at the blue truck. Well, the blue truck's my daily driver. It's got a few issues. Mainly, I got a lot of wiring going on in the front tire area. Pretty sure I need alignment, but these tires got some pretty good little humps, and now they're starting to get rounded off, but there's a little bit of a hump there, and it's kind of cupping a little bit. And this thing's also running a bit rich. You can really smell the gas in the exhaust, so I think I'm going to have to do a tune-up on it and maybe replace the O2 sensor and the coolant temp sensor. It hasn't got rich enough to set a code yet, so I do have a book now on this truck on the fuel system, how to troubleshoot, read the codes. So that'll really help out. But if it was running rich or lean, it would set either a 45 or a 44 code, and it hadn't set either one of those, so it still cranks up and runs pretty good. I do have a small coolant leak. I'm not sure exactly where it's coming from. I haven't seen it dripping anywhere, but you can smell it. And I do have to add coolant every couple of months. Add a little bit of coolant. So I have an issue with this gauge. I'm not sure this gauge is working right. It's reading very high voltage, and of course the oil pressure gauge is good. So 191,000 on this truck. I think I replaced the motor at 170, so got a little over 21,000 miles on this new crate motor. And so let's go look at the Dooley. Alright, so here's the 85 Dooley. You can see how much rain we've got last week. Lots and lots of rain. But the other day I had a problem with the starter. I went ahead and got this running board off here. It looks a whole lot better. But my starter, it wasn't hitting on much. It was like it wasn't engaging. It was kind of hitting against the flywheel, just making a hell of a racket. So I put a different starter on here, and it was doing the same thing, but my battery was weak. And I ain't sure the battery ain't still weak. The battery's time to be replaced. So I did get it crunk up after I charged the batteries up. It fired right up, but it hadn't been cranked in probably 2 weeks. So it's going to be a little bit of trouble getting the crank here. You can hear how that thing kind of got a real high pitch to it, and that's actually pretty good compared to what it was doing. It was a knocking and a banging, but so I'm thinking when it gets hot, it's really going to affect that starter. I've got a new starter, I got a new flywheel, and I also bought the starter brace that attaches the motor to the block on the back side of the starter. And I think that's the biggest issue, is this thing's torquing. When that starter engages, it torques down, and then it takes a chance of it running the block. I mean, not the block, but the flywheel. So at least for now, it will crank. But I'm afraid it's going to do like it did the last time and get, after I drove it and got it good and hot, it wouldn't do nothing. So that was on a different starter though, and we'll see. It did leave me stranded for a little bit when it did it before. All right, let's go down to the barn and let's see what I got done down there. Well, as you can see on the project truck, I got the fender just temporarily mounted, and mainly just to get it out of my way. Got both of them on. Starting to look a little bit more like a truck. I'm having some issues with alignment over here on this front side, so I think I'm going to have to take this whole core support loose before I can kind of move it around a little bit. And I'm going to get this area right in here cleaned out. All this stuff's got to go, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna remove these two doors, hinges, and get these out of the way. Then I've got to put two new rafters up here across to lift the bed off the bed trailer, and I got to work on getting my dolly ready to set the bed on, because we're going to get ready to start on the bed. Now, the only issue I'm going to have really is, what do I do with this hood? Today, if I'd had this hood ready to spray, today would be the day. It's supposed to be 65 degrees today, wasn't sunshine, so today would have been a good day to paint, seal this hood up. But I want to sandblast it, and I just ain't got time today to do it. So I'm going to get this stuff out of my way. I'm going to go this valance panel. I'm going to take it out to the other shop where it don't get overspray on it, and that piece that goes under the steering column's got to go out yonder. And I'm going to start working on that bed. And my panel tree I'm going to use because I'm going to take that bed apart. I'm going to take it all the way apart, fenders, front header, and floor, because I've got to do a lot of work on the floor. Probably end up having to replace the floor in it, and I've got to do a lot of work on the passenger side fender, well, not fender, but bed side rather, up underneath it. So I've been kind of getting some stuff cleaned up in here, getting it a little bit more organized. I actually can see what's in my toolbox now. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to work on today. Is I got to take this board off, and you see there's leaves all under here, and I've got to take these doors off, and I've got to go get some lumber to fix some rafters, and I've got to move all the stuff out of the way. I will be using my welder in there, so I will be needing it. Anyway, let me get this stuff cleaned up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, got the front cleaned up, the doors off, and looks a whole lot bigger in here now. I did get this board off up here that I had to do a little rewiring. I had that wire run through the daggum hole in it, and through the hole in that board right there. So I had to unwire that light fixture there and fix that. But I'm thinking about now, after I got all this done, why not just back that bed in here and on the trailer and take it apart piece by piece. Probably easier than trying to roll it back and forth and take it apart. So I may do that instead of trying to run and put all this stuff on. I can use that trailer to put it back together on, and then use the gantry outside to pick it up and put it back on this truck. So may end up doing that. I ain't decided yet. I could wait till I get ready to paint it and then take it off and put it on a dolly, whatever. Biggest reason I wanted this open so I can put my little torpedo heater right here in the front and blow heat. Back here I'll close this back door so all the heat will stay in this area and I won't be melting the plastic. So as far as that propane heater goes, I have yet to call them back. I did leave a message for them. Left a voicemail to the guy that shipped these hoses, but he never called me back. So for right now, I just got it stuck way over yonder. It'll probably stay there. I'm not even gonna fool with that. I'll just write that one off. Won't buy nothing like that again. So now I'm getting a little bit crowded back in here, so hope I don't need much of this stuff. Let's see if I can shut the door. I can't even shut the door. Oh yeah. Yeah, we can get the door shut. And I probably won't need this table in here, but I may leave it in here just to have set stuff on. It's kind of handy to put stuff. Anyway, guys, I guess one more update to do, and that's to talk about the trailer hitch I built. Alright guys, before we go out and look at this trailer hitch on the tractor, I wanted to take a few minutes to thank a couple people. I met a guy the other day, stopped by, left me some strainers and tack cloths. He lives in a town just beside our town. Comes by here every day on the way home. I think his username is 85 Black Chevy or Black 85 Chevy. Anyway, I'll drop the username right there. And a while back, it's been a while, and I forgot. It was definitely last year, probably summertime last year. One of my viewers, he lives on the road just probably less than a half mile from here. He brought me a couple of U-joints for the drive shaft. I want to say thank you for that if he's watching. His username is Smith Poultry Farms or something like that. He's got some chicken houses over on the road just over from ours. So anyway, let's go look at that trailer hitch now. Alright, so I hope this comes in. It's kind of dark in here, but I got it together. End up having to bore these holes out a good bit more to get this pin in here. And I'm pretty sure it is the hitch itself, it's the receiver, not the hitch. So I tried a different receiver I tried a different hitch and it was the same way. So I just took a step bit and bored it out. I actually even bored out the hole in the receiver of the hitch part also. But here's the problem. This thing is way too tall. With this tractor, if I lift it up all the way, it hits the roll bar. So I don't think it needs to be near that tall. I don't have to tie the ball all the way on the ground. So what I'm going to end up doing is probably making a triangle frame with just a short piece up here and bevel and come down like this and like this. Probably end up cutting a bevel right above where I've got it welded right here, and just cut a bevel in here like this, come up to here, and just cut these corners off. That's probably what I'm going to end up having to do. I may actually, make it a lot shorter too. Don't need to be that high. And anyway, guys, stay tuned for that. I got to do some work on this tractor also. I've got a new lift arm for it. I got to replace this lift arm. I was going to tell you the pins worked out great going this way. It's a very little side-to-side motion. This tractor's got the sway bar on it. The other side don't. It could be a little narrower, but I don't want to have to cut the hitch and redo all of that. It is what it is. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't.